Know that gut-wrenching moment when trust shatters like glass underfoot? Imagine rebuilding it from shattered lies into an unbreakable bond, in just months if you've done it before like I have. That's exactly what happened to me and my partner Elena, after the betrayal that nearly ended us. But here's the twist. It wasn't some fairy tale fix or therapy miracle. It was raw, messy work that anyone can follow, starting with one honest conversation that changed everything. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll see how even the deepest wounds can heal, if you know the steps. I never thought I'd be the one writing this story. Elena and I had been together for 8 years, the kind of couple everyone envied. We met in college, bonded over late-night study sessions and dreams of building a life together. She was the artist with wild curls and a laugh that lit up rooms. I was the steady engineer, always planning our next adventure. Our world felt solid, until it wasn't. One rainy evening, I discovered the messages on her phone. An affair. With a co-worker. The kind of betrayal that doesn't just break trust, it obliterates it. My heart raced as I scrolled, each word a dagger. How could she? We were supposed to be forever. But in that moment of devastation, something shifted. I didn't walk away. Not yet. Deep down, I knew love like ours deserved a fight. And that's when the real story began. Our journey to rebuild trust, step by gritty step. It wasn't easy, but it taught me that trust isn't a given. It's a garden you tend, even after a storm rips it apart. If you're watching this because your relationship feels like rubble, lean in. This is how we did it, and how you can too. The first days after the discovery were a blur of tears, arguments, and slammed doors. Elena confessed everything in a shaky voice, her eyes red from crying. It was a mistake, Alex. I felt lost in my career, and he was there. But I love you. I want to fix this. Her words hung in the air, but trust? That was gone, evaporated like morning mist. I felt the weight of betrayal pressing down, every hug now suspicious, every late night at work a potential lie. How do you even start rebuilding something so fundamental? We didn't know, but we committed to trying. Little did we know that small decision would uncover layers of pain, growth, and unexpected strength. Step 1 in rebuilding trust, I learned, is radical honesty, the foundation you can't skip. No more secrets, no half-truths. We sat down that very night, phones off, in our dimly lit living room that smelled of the chamomile tea we'd brewed to calm our nerves. I poured out my hurt, the anger, the insecurity, the fear that I'd never feel safe again. Elena listened, really listened, without defending or deflecting. She shared her side too, not excuses but the vulnerability behind her choices. I was scared of failing as an artist, and it made me seek validation elsewhere, she admitted. We agreed on full transparency, shared passwords, open access to emails and social media. It felt invasive at first, like stripping bare in a crowd, but it was necessary. Psychologists call this re-establishing safety, and it works because it removes the shadows where doubt hides. But honesty alone isn't enough. It has to be paired with consistent actions that match words. Words are cheap after betrayal. Actions prove intent. Elena started small but deliberate. She ended all contact with the co-worker, not just professionally but completely, even switching art supply vendors to avoid any overlap. I noticed her coming home earlier, initiating date nights without prompting. One evening, she surprised me with a handmade sketchbook filled with drawings of our future, us traveling, building a home studio for her. "This is what I want," she said, her voice steady. "Not him, you." It was a gesture, yes, but more, proof she was investing in us. I reciprocated by journaling my feelings daily and sharing them, turning my internal storm into shared understanding. Research from relationship experts like John Gottman backs this. Couples who rebuild trust do so through bids for connection, small daily acts that say, "I'm here and I'm committed." As weeks turned into a month, tension simmered beneath the surface. We attended our first couples therapy session, recommended by a friend who'd been through something similar. The therapist, Dr. Rivera, a no-nonsense woman with kind eyes, laid it out. Trust is earned through vulnerability and accountability. She gave us homework, weekly trust check-ins. We'd sit with timers, each speaking uninterrupted for 10 minutes about our progress and fears. Mine? I keep replaying the messages in my head. What if it happens again? Elena's? "I hate that I've made you doubt me. I feel like I have to walk on eggshells." These talks were exhausting. like peeling back scar tissue, but they built a bridge. Foreshadowing the bigger tests ahead, Dr. Rivera warned, rebuilding isn't linear. There will be setbacks, but they're opportunities to deepen the bond. By month 2, we hit our first major hurdle, a work trip Elena had to take. The city was the same one where the affair started, and paranoia crept in. "Are you sure you have to go?" I asked, my voice tighter than I intended. She paused, sensing the undercurrent. Instead of reassurance alone, she invited me along, partially funded by her freelance gig. We turned it into a mini-vacation, walking hand in hand through markets, sharing street food that burned our tongues. But midway through, doubt flared again when I saw her laughing with a male colleague at a networking event. My stomach twisted. That night, back in the hotel, I confronted her, not accusingly, but vulnerably. "This reminds me of everything. Help me trust you right now." Elena didn't get defensive. She pulled out her phone, showed the innocent texts, and we talked it through until dawn. It was a breather amid the rising stakes, a reminder that trust rebuilds through these micro moments of choice. Layering in more tension, our friends and family weighed in. My best friend, Mike, pulled me aside at a barbecue. "Dude, once trust is broken, it's game over. Move on." Elena's sister was gentler but echoed doubts. "She hurt you bad, Alex. Protect yourself." Their words planted seeds of hesitation, making every step feel like a gamble. Yet we pressed on, incorporating forgiveness as a process, not a switch. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing to release resentment for your own peace. We read books together. Esther Perel's The State of Affairs hit hard, explaining how affairs often stem from personal voids, not the relationship's failure. Elena owned her role fully, writing me a letter of apology that I still keep. "I betrayed your heart, and I'll spend every day earning it back." I forgave in stages, first intellectually, then emotionally, through rituals like burning old photos of the pain, symbolically in our backyard fire pit, and affirming our commitment aloud. As the months unfolded, the stakes rose higher. Elena's art career took off with a gallery show, but success brought temptations, late nights, admirers. One evening she came home late, smelling of wine. My heart pounded, old triggers fired. "Who were you with?" I demanded. She explained, "A professional toast with mentors." But to rebuild, we needed boundaries. Step 4 emerged, setting clear boundaries and expectations. We co-created a trust contract, a simple document outlining non-negotiables, no opposite-sex work dinners without updates, monthly transparency reviews, and signals for when one of us felt triggered, a safe word, pause. It wasn't controlling, it was collaborative, fostering security. Dr. Rivera praised this in session. Boundaries aren't walls, they're guardrails for healing. And it worked. Elena's consistency turned suspicion into reluctant belief. Foreshadowing the climax, subtle hints built dread. During a quiet dinner, Elena mentioned a new collaborator, a talented photographer named Liam. "He's just professional," she assured. I nodded, but inside unease stirred. Remember that forgotten detail from our early days? The way she'd light up around creative types? It seemed innocent then, but now it loomed like a shadow. As risks mounted, my own career stress making me withdrawn, her guilt sometimes leading to overcompensation, we pushed on. The weight of every wrong turn felt heavier. A missed check-in here, a snappy reply there. Yet, through it all, we layered in empathy and self-reflection, the glue that held us. I worked on my side too, not just victimhood, but owning how my busyness had contributed to her loneliness. We attended individual therapy. I learned to communicate needs without accusation. Elena journaled her triggers, turning inward to prevent repeats. These breaths amid tension, shared hikes where we'd debrief, or cooking classes that reignited joy kept us connected, proving that rebuilding trust is a two-way street. By month 4, the rising action peaked in subtlety. We'd rebuilt enough for a milestone, a weekend getaway to the coast, our first real vacation since the betrayal. The salty air, crashing waves, it felt like a test. Would old patterns resurface, or had we truly grown? Little did we know, the real storm was brewing back home, ready to shatter our fragile progress. We returned from the coast glowing, hand in hand, believing we'd turned a corner. Trust felt tentative but real, like a bridge half-built, sturdy enough to cross. But life, cruel as it is, doesn't follow scripts. 2 days later, Elena's phone buzzed during dinner. She glanced at it, face paling. "It's Liam," she whispered. My fork clattered to the plate. Liam, the collaborator. What does he want? I asked, voice low, the room suddenly silent except for the hum of the fridge. She handed me the phone without hesitation. The message, "Hey, great session today, drinks after to celebrate the deal." Just us creatives. My blood boiled. Just us creatives. It echoed the affair's excuses too closely. The stakes hit like a thunderclap. Everything we'd built teetered on this moment. Forgive or fight, walk away or confront. The air thickened with unspoken fears. Was this history repeating? Had our efforts been for nothing? I stood, pacing, heart hammering. "Elena, this is the test. If you go, we're done. But if you choose us, prove it now." She froze, tears welling. The room went silent, a long, agonizing pause where our future hung. Then the revelation. Elena dialed Liam on speaker. "Liam, I appreciate the invite, but I'm in a committed relationship. No drinks, no just us. Let's keep it professional or not at all." Click. She blocked him, then turned to me, voice breaking. "Alex, I chose you. Not because I have to, but because I want to. This isn't about control, it's about us." But doubt raged. I grabbed my keys, storming out into the night rain, the chill soaking my skin like the cold grip of betrayal returning. Driving aimlessly, memories flooded, our first kiss, the affair's pain, the therapy breakthroughs. What would I lose if I walked? Everything. Pulling over, I called Dr. Rivera.